Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today on Around Kansas, join us for a story about the Kansas Western Music Association and the Kansas Cowboys CD. Then join us for a story about Washburn University and Ichabod Washburn. Next, we'll hear a poem from Ron Wilson, and we'll end with a look at the Garnett Theater. Stay with us. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. Well, here it is Wednesday. I'm Frank. Oh yeah, and Deb's not here. Deb's kind of stranded out in western Kansas, but she'll be back. So anyway, hope you had a very nice Thanksgiving. Wow. Can you believe that it's already past Thanksgiving and now we're into the official Christmas season, I guess. So get your Christmas shopping done early and enjoy it and drive safely and all of that. So anyway, I'm on my own today and we've got some really good stories lined up for you. Some of them are some oldies but goodies that we're bringing back because they were good stories and they merit more than just a one-time around the block viewing. So anyway, in the meantime, I don't have a book. You know, Deb is a published author, and she writes a lot of historical books and all that. So my claim to fame is I have two radio stations, WREN and Laser, the Laser, and they're both on the internet. And of course, more and more streaming radio stations are showing up on the internet because that's where the industry is going, because as we know, most of us spend most of the day either in front of a PC or a laptop or a tablet or one of these. And so anyway, a few years ago, now going on 8 years ago, Les Glenn and I, Les Glenn is my partner, we decided that we wanted to put a radio station on the air that was locally owned and operated. We're not affiliated with any of the big corporate entities. And we looked for some terrestrial signals, and there just weren't any in the market. So Les had a little radio station on the air in his basement on the internet. And I asked Les, well, can we go live with that? Can that be a radio station on the internet? And he said, well, yeah. So that's what we did. We decided to recreate WREN. One of the reasons is because I spent about 20 years of my career in broadcasting at REN. I was a disc jockey there during my college years, and then I was in the sales department, was sales manager there, and was general manager at one time. And so the radio station had a tremendous following and a great reputation for quality broadcasting. So it gave us an opportunity to have instant branding in our local market and area market. So I found the call letters at a radio station down in Alabama. The station had just gone off the air and the owner, those call letters really belong in Topeka. So WREN is what we became. And we went on the air back in January of 2012. And so far, we've got listeners not only in Topeka and Northeast Kansas, but all over the state, all over the country, and all over the world. And it's a lot of fun. We play music from the 50s, 60s, and the 70s. We have live announcers, and they are older guys like me that were in the business when you were radio personalities and talked with your audience and entertained their audience and then played the hit music. So anyway, where we are on the internet is rendigitalmedia.com. Go there and then you'll see our website, and then you'll be able to listen to the oldies. And our second station is the Laser, which is hits of the 70s and the 80s. And you can connect to that too on the REN website. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun, and it's been rewarding, especially for me in my retirement years. At least I thought he was going to retire, but I think I'm working harder now than I ever have. Anyway, we've got some really great stories coming up for you, so stay right here and learn some things about Kansas.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. Well, hello again. This is Around Kansas, and I'm Frank. And if you saw the opening, you heard me talking about Ren Radio on the internet now, and it's an oldies but goodies. Well, this next story is going to be kind of about oldies but goodies, but it has to do with Western music. Now, way back when, there was a music genre called country and Western, C&W. The thing is, there's a big difference in the two. Country is country, and Western is Western. Western is really the cowboys singing songs about work around the ranch, many, many different subjects. And so we have a CD from the Kansas Western Music Association. If you like Western music, you're going to want to know about this CD.
The Kansas connection to cowboy music and poetry goes back to the beginning, to the mid-19th century when cowboys began driving longhorn cattle from Texas to the Kansas railheads. Many of the old trail songs have their roots in Kansas. Kansas Cowboy is a remarkable collection reflecting the wide range of Kansans dedicated to the art of Western music and poetry today. These performers are all members of the Western Music Association, Kansas chapter, and have donated their time and talent to the project. Jeff Davidson is president of the Kansas chapter and is a longtime extension agent with K-State Research and Extension, who is now a watershed specialist in southeast Kansas. He is also a talented singer and guitar player who is an expert on Kansas and Western history. It seemed like a good idea, but I wasn't sure just how we would get it done, Jeff said. Then, when WMA member Jim Farrell volunteered to do it, that's what made it work. Jim Farrell is a longtime performer and producer in the Western music industry. He is a member of the award-winning group, the Diamond W Wranglers. The result is a double-barreled CD set called Kansas Cowboy. It includes 29 tracks with 20 artists or groups performing music and poetry, most of which was penned by the artists themselves. Several of the tracks have never before been recorded. Featured performers are from all corners of the state, from Dodge City to Kansas City and from Medicine Lodge to Manhattan, representing ages from the early 20s to the mid-80s, said Roger Ringer, the group's vice president. The CDs are available from WMA members and at the Prairie Rose Chuck Wagon in Benton.
Hello, I'm Dr. Frank Lyons from Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center here in Manhattan, Kansas. Daryl was one of our patients that we did about 7 months ago.
I dug trees by hand for years and years and years. In the process, I wore out my rotator cuff. But when I learned about this process, I thought if there's a way to get rid of this pain, then I want to do it. So we did it and it worked. I'm not going to go out and take trees with a shovel anymore, but I can do the things that I want to do now.
Well, it's been very gratifying to help people with their painful joints and other entities, and it's been especially gratifying to be able to help people who I know and have worked with and known for many years.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Buffalo Bill Cody earned his legendary title in Oakley. Bring the family and come celebrate Oakley's pioneering history and unique geography at two sites, the Buffalo Bill Cultural Center and the Fick Fossil Museum. Cody's statue marks his achievements and welcomes visitors to the Cultural Center. The Fick Fossil Museum houses world-class fossils and artifacts. You'll find Oakley at the hub of U.S. Highways 83 and 40 and I-70. Stop for the legend. Stay for the day. Discover Oakley.
When your living depends on agriculture, you can depend on KFRM 550 AM. If you're in the southwest three-fourths of Kansas or the northern half of Oklahoma, catch us at 550 AM on the radio dial. But if that isn't you, listen on your cell phone at TuneIn Radio or on your computer at KFRM.com. We promise to keep you informed, entertained, and company as you go through your day. KFRM 550 AM, the voice of the plains. We would like to join your management team.
Fort Wallace was the fightingest fort in the West. Fossils, Indians, soldiers, scouts, wagons, trails, pioneers, stories. Discover the story of Fort Wallace and the people who served here, the people who fought here, the people who settled here. Wallace County, where the past is present.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. Well, hello again. Topeka has a great university here. It's called Washburn University. It's been around since 1865, and it has grown tremendously over those years. But it had a rather humble beginning. In fact, it had a one-building beginning, which was in downtown Topeka, and it was called Lincoln College. But the thing is they wanted, of course, to grow and expand. And so they got a benefactor. His name, Ichabod Washburn. He never visited the campus. But nevertheless, because of his donation, then Washburn University became a great university with all of the years and the people that have been involved. But I'm getting ahead of it. So stay right here and we'll give you a story about Washburn University.
One of the oldest universities in Kansas, Washburn University celebrates its 150th anniversary this year, and what a history it has. From its founding on the heels of the Civil War to the 1966 tornado to the 21st century institution it is today, Washburn has endured, persevered, and triumphed. Washburn University was founded as Lincoln College, a private congregational school, on February 6, 1865. A group of church members had been trying since 1857 to get a college established, but various obstacles and the Civil War hampered their efforts. During the summer and fall of 1865, a two-story building took shape on lots donated by John Ritchie on the corner of 10th and Jackson Streets in downtown Topeka. The front door faced west and had a good view of the state capitol under construction. Since few young people had a high school education at that time, the founders decided to offer a 3-year high school course along with the college curriculum. Classes began on January 3, 1866, with 38 high school students. According to church sources, one of those students was African American. The first 2 college students enrolled in the fall of 1866. The high school was a part of the college until 1918, when it became Washburn Rural High School. Washburn has always admitted women and minorities. There are several well-documented episodes in early athletics of conflicts with opponents forfeiting the game because Washburn refused to play without their black player. In addition to the lots at 10th and Jackson, John Ritchie also gave the present campus of 160 acres to the college for a permanent location. Under the leadership of the second president, Peter McVicker, the college sold the Jackson Street building to the city of Topeka in 1872 and began construction of a larger building on their property, which was 1.5 miles southwest of the city limits at that time. They rented space in downtown buildings for classes until it was completed in 1874. The main building, later named Rice Hall, stood by itself on open prairie that was of higher elevation than the city proper, so the area, as it was developed, was called College Hill. Besides classrooms and a library, the building had dorm rooms for male and female students on separate floors, a kitchen, dining room, chapel, and several apartments for staff. The 1966 tornado devastated the campus, and many classes were held in mobile homes while the university was rebuilt. But Washburn came back and is more beautiful than ever. It is undergoing yet another renovation, all of which has continued the founder's vision of providing an education to any student with the desire to learn. The university is hosting events throughout the year, so visit their website to learn more. And go Bods!
Welcome to the Jerry Thomas Gallery and Collection, where we showcase my renowned frontier military and Native American artifacts. Behind me you see a touch of fall. We put together not only the beauty of Micah Highwalking, who is the first graduate of West Point of the Northern Cheyenne people and a dear friend, but also a Hudson's Bay blanket that I have here in the gallery. The unique opportunity that I was able to have was we unveiled this painting and surprised Micah at Custer Battlefield, a true honor.
Tarwater Farm and Home has been family owned and operated since its beginning in 1978. What you need for farm and agriculture, lawn and garden, clothing and footwear, and so much more. You'll be surprised at what you'll find in this huge store. They have what you need and lots of it. So come take a look. You'll discover that customer service is first and foremost. Always has been with the Tarwaters. Tarwater Farm and Home, 4107 North Topeka Boulevard.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help? How can we help?
As fourth-generation farmers themselves, Heinen Brothers Ag Service understands the risk and rewards of farming. So when it comes to quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia, call Heinen Brothers Ag today, 800-760-4964.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways, of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Grain Sorghum. Growers working together. Find out more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Perhaps we've seen horses with problems through the years, but I've come to find from my experience that oftentimes the problem isn't the horse, it's the rider. This poem is entitled The Problem Horse, or The Horse's Problem. Here's part one. What's wrong with this horse? The young rider asked as he struggled with jobs for which he was tasked. She balks at the trailer, won't stand at the gates, and she doesn't move right when I want to change gates. She's skittish as heck and she spooks at my rope. I'm beginning to think this darn mare is a dope. I'm trying to get the work done that I need, but I can't make her start upon the right lead. Disgust and frustration fooled the cowboy's discourse as they asked the question, what's wrong with this horse? Here's part two. What's wrong with this rider, the mare must have thought, as he went through the struggles the morning had brought. Does he want me to gallop or just go at a lope? Does he know that he whacked me upside with his rope? Do we stop at the gate or go on down the fence? What the heck does he want? His cues make no sense. Is he squeezing his knees because he wants to go fast? Or is his intent different than it was in the past? The mixed signals she got caused frustration inside her, and the mare had to wonder, what's wrong with this rider? Happy trails.
Merry Christmas from historic Lecompton, where Lane University has decorated more than 100 trees with antique and vintage ornaments, transforming the museum with the magic of the season. Open daily through New Year's Day.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
I'm Scott Thellman, and this is Juniper Hill Farms. Even though my parents weren't farmers, they bought this beautiful farm north of Lawrence in 1999. In 2010, I started growing vegetables on this land. Today, Juniper Hill Farms sells produce to wholesalers, grocers, and restaurants, and is focused on growing high-quality food that everyone can afford. Watch my story and the stories of other young Kansas food producers at kansaslivingmagazine.com/meetafarmer.
I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter. Well, oldies but goodies seems to be our theme this time. And so here's another oldie but goodie, because I did a series of stories about opera houses around the state of Kansas, because they were a big deal back in territorial days and back in the early days of statehood and all of that, because obviously there wasn't radio and TV. And so there was an opera house in virtually every town. A lot of those opera houses are gone, but a lot of them have been redone. And one of those is in Garnett. It was an opera house and a movie theater. And this next story is about how the people of Garnett have really made this into a crown jewel in their community. So let's take a look.
With playwright Edgar Lee Masters among its native sons, it was probably inevitable that the folks of Garnett would form a strong community theater. The Chamber Players organized in 1991 and borrowed locations for years until patron Thelma Moore and the United Presbyterian Church entered the mix. The building was being sold, and Thelma's contribution, in addition to fundraising, made it possible for the troupe to have a permanent home in 2007. The exterior is much the same, but the interior has been remodeled to accommodate the dinner theater. Tom Emerson Jr., the group's treasurer, described a unique feature of the operation that began when he attended a local high school production and the drama club sold desserts for $1. He approached them about serving their meals, keeping the tips and proceeds from desserts. This arrangement snowballed, and other groups like 4-H, cheerleaders, and music groups took advantage of the opportunity. Subsequently, $50,000 to $60,000 have been raised for these groups, a feat unto itself in any community. It is more remarkable considering there are only 32 performance nights a year. Nights that feature original plays as well as classics by Neil Simon, Beth Henley, and other well-known authors. Tom said the Chamber Players are committed to fostering an appreciation of theater for the next generation and has added a youth theater camp. Also to that end, the Chamber Players purchased land for their future home on the square in Garnett. Planning is underway and fundraising has begun. To be sure, one day the students who are serving dinners will be on stage themselves and underwriting performances. If Edgar Lee Masters could speak from the grave, we think he'd be pleased.
Well, that's it for this time around. I'm Frank, and I'll see you somewhere with Deb around Kansas. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy Street.